First Amendment guarantees the right to express ideas and information. People can say what they want in expressing their opinion without fear of government censorship.
Freedom of speech guarantees free speech, though the United States, like all modern democracies, place limits on this freedom. In a series of landmark cases, the U.S. Supreme Court over the years has helped to define what types of speech are and aren't protected under U.S. law. It protects all forms of communications, from speeches to art and other media. It gives us the right of expression. However, the First Amendment doesn't specify what exactly is freedom of speech. Defining what types of speech should and shouldn't be protected by law has fallen largely to the courts.
Although the First Amendment covers many forms of speech, some of the forms of speech that it does not cover is 1. Plagiarism, 2. Obscene materials such as child pornography, 3. Truth threats, or 4. Defamation, or in other words, slander. The ancient Greeks pioneered free speech as a democratic principle. The word parrhesia means free speech or to speak candidly. The word first appeared in Greek literature around the 5th century BC.
The First Amendment was adopted on December 15, 1791, as part of the Bill of Rights. The founding fathers who composed the Constitution and Bill of Rights were influenced by English law and history, as well as the natural rights philosophy being developed in Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. Thomas Jefferson drew from the precepts of the British philosopher John Locke when he penned the Declaration of Independence. The framers of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights was largely taken from the work of Sir William Blackstone. During his time, Blackstone was one of the very first people to advocate free speech.
After the Revolution, the young nation expanded the notion of free speech, but the vestiges of English suppression still remained. James Madison boldly introduced his original First Amendment rights to the Bill of Rights in 1789. Our first case involved Shrenick v. United States. Charles Shrenick was a prominent socialist during World War I. He started to distribute flyers to American soldiers, and his flyers amounted to the fact that the war was causing involuntary service and that the war was fueled by capitalist greed. The government charged Charles Shrenick with violating the recently enacted Espionage Act, but Charles vetoed the government in saying that the Espionage Act violated his First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. In the Shrenick versus United States case, the court decided against Charles Shrenick. They argued that he had malicious intent while distributing the flyers, and therefore his First Amendment right of freedom of speech does not apply. The court argued that the precedent of freedom of speech depends on the circumstances. That's why in peaceful times, distributing these flyers could be seen as harmless, but during the time of war, the act was definitely not. That's why the court famously uses the metaphor of yelling fire in a public place. See, I can say fire right now, and it's not a problem, but if I went into a movie theater and shouted fire, then we would have a real big issue.
The decision, in addition to sending Charles Shrenick to jail for 6 months, resulted in a balancing test, allowing the Supreme Court to assess free speech challenges against the state's interest on a case-by-case basis. In 1969, the court in Brandenburg v. Ohio replaced it with the immense lawless action test, one that protects a broader range of speech. This test states that the government may only limit speech that incites unlawful action sooner than the police can arrive to prevent that action.
Another notable case is Tinker v. Des Moines. Tinker v. Des Moines happened during the Vietnam War. There are 5 students across Iowa who wanted to protest the Vietnam War peacefully. 2 students in particular, Mary Beth and John Tinker, went to a public school in Iowa. They wanted to wear black armbands to peacefully protest this war. They showed up to the school wearing the armbands, but the school had made a special rule as they could not do this form of protest. They were sent home and suspended. When their parents heard about this, they decided to sue the school in violation of the students' First Amendment rights to symbolically protest. The decision in Tinker v. Des Moines. These parents first went to the district court, but the district court sided with the school. So then they went to the Court of Appeals, and the Court of Appeals also sided with the school. The parents didn't want to give up there, so they went to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the students in a 7-2 vote.
This case is important because by ruling in favor of the symbolic speech, the court set a precedent for the free speech rights of the students. The High Court agreed that students' free rights should be protected and said, students don't shed their constitutional rights at the school gates.